Hi there, thanks for joining me for a cup of tea this evening. I thought as tonight they will all be gearing up now at Elstree, ready to shoot the live show for Saturday's launch of Strictly this season, that I'd just do a very quick chat about what it was like on our live filming day and tell you how it felt and what it's like backstage behind the scenes of Strictly. So we had an early call time. We had to be at the studios for about 8:30. And as we drove in, there was already a queue of people, which I was really surprised about. But we were with Jeanette Manara, and she said, no, she said it's because, you know, people want to make sure they get their seat. And they BBC actually allocate more tickets than there are seats because they want it to be full. So people queue up really early to make sure they get in. And it was just such a fantastic atmosphere because everybody was dressed up. They were all in their glitter and their sequins, and everybody just looked gorgeous, even though they were standing out there and were going to be standing out there for some time. There is like a marquee, and I think if it pours and pours, they do let them in so that they sort of have a little bit of shelter. But actually, they are kept outside for quite a while, and it just shows, you know, how much Strictly means to people that get their tickets and are able to go and see it. Once we went in, it was just amazing. There were signs all over the place. This one said Strictly this way, and it was like, oh my goodness, we really are on Strictly. But the bit that sort of overjoyed me more than anything was the fact I had my own dressing room. And it was really funny because I rang my son, who wasn't up. And I'm just gibbering down the phone going, I've got my own dressing room, I'm so excited. And there was just this, although he was delighted for me. I just had woken him and took him a minute or two to come round. And when you went into your dressing room, it was just fantastic. There was a couch and a dressing table and things. And on the dressing table, there was, which is why I'm using it tonight, my Elstree mug, which is was filled with sweets and wrapped in cellophane. There was a faux telegram, which from the studios, which is obviously a tradition that they have, and now we can't do telegrams, they continue it in this way. But that was lovely, wishing me good luck. I was so excited. And on the other corner, there was a bottle of champagne, and it actually said, Strictly come down. So I felt very spoilt. I don't know for a fact that all of the celebrities and dancers get that every time, but that's certainly what happened to us on our night, and we were thrilled. The whole day, you were pretty much spent getting ready and rehearsing and going through things, timings and producers telling you how the show was going to run and what you were going to have to do. I was made up, my hair was done very early from the first time I was there. And they were still sorting out my group dance dress, so I had to have that tried and looked at a couple of times. But it was just amazing, just the most fantastic atmosphere. And the hair and makeup room is actually a really social room because lots of the performers come in and out of there and are having bits and bobs done, so you chat to each other. And also the costume area, because the costume team are just amazing. The team that work with Vicky Gale are just brilliant. In fact, everybody. I know that the celebrities say it all the time, but it genuinely is true. Everybody on the show is just delightful. And there's such support for each other. I know that during our rehearsal day, I messed my rehearsal up massively and came back into hair and makeup, and Lisa Riley was in there and Kimberly Walsh being coiffured, and I was almost in tears, but I was all made up, so I didn't want to cry, but my heart was breaking because I'd just made such a mess of this rehearsal. And the two of them were just lovely. They both gave me a hug and said, don't worry, it's happened to all of us, it's, you know, it's the rehearsal, that's what it's there for, you'll be fine tonight. So that was just so nice of them. Having been a visitor to the studios, what happens there is that when you've got tickets and you're a guest of one of the stars, they actually have a tent on the other side of the security gate, so they let you through into there, and it's got you can buy sweets and drinks and things, very snacky. So you do that, and then at about 7 o'clock they take you through to the studio, probably a bit earlier than that actually, and you're seated. The seats are really uncomfortable. They're very narrow, there's not a lot of room, and you literally are sat there for the whole time. Before the show starts, there's a warm-up guy called Stuart Holdham. What's quite funny about him is, because I've seen 2 of the shows, he does the same routine almost every time. So, although it was quite funny the first time, the second time it wasn't so great. And then there's an interval, and they bring you like a Kit Kat and a carton of juice. But they are very strict. As you go in, you're not allowed to take phones or bags or anything. It's all kept. And so that's my phone. I can't turn it off. Maybe that's the studio telling me off that I shouldn't actually be giving away secrets of Strictly. Just how not to do your first video. My biggest worry was that the dogs would bark, but no. Instead of that, the telephone goes. Fantastic. And what's the best thing, that it was a double glazing sales call. Anyway, so there's a little bit of an insight about what our live filming day was like on Strictly, and just a little taster as you sit here tonight thinking about all those people who were so lucky to get tickets to go in and see the show, and all of those fabulous celebrities and who are going to be having the time of their life with those pro dancers, because I can certainly tell you the pro dancers are amazing. They are the kindest, most generous group of people ever. They're so keen to help you to improve what you're doing and make it good. So here's looking forward to Saturday and seeing the first show, and here's hoping that some of you are lucky and get tickets to go and see one of those shows live. Lots of love. See you soon. Come and have a cup of tea with me again. Bye.